All right, happy Wednesday to everybody. Um, Today is mental health check-in day. Okay, I told y'all I was gonna get back consistent with doing my mental health checks, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So every Wednesday, I want to do a mental health check. Just tapping in with y'all, answering some questions, helping out in any way that I can. Feel free to start typing your questions, or if you want to come up and kind of talk to me one-on-one, you can do that as well. You can send an invite. But I want to just open up the floor because I know that there is a lot going on right now. I know that a lot of people are going through a lot of silent battles, and I want, number one, to do what I can to help you all, because there are a lot of people feeling a lot of different ways, and I do not want to lose any of you, number one. And then also, I want you to understand that a lot of the things that you are going through, you are not alone. Sometimes, the biggest reason why we are silent and we keep things from people, we don't want to let people know what we're going through, is usually because we feel like we're by ourselves, right? And whatever we're going through, or that nobody understands, or that nobody can really help, or whatever the case is. Okay, so feel free to use this comment section as a safe space. Y'all know my block game is strong, so ain't nobody gonna come for you, ain't nobody gonna talk about you, ain't nobody going to disrespect you or say anything out of the way, because Poca cuss real good, okay? And I don't mind. With that being said, I do want to kind of talk about, a lot of the emotional triggers that some of you guys may be experiencing right now. There is a lot going on astrologically, and we've already kind of talked about that, and that has a big effect on us. Where the planets are, what's going on, and then individually, life is just lifing. This is not a good time really for a lot of people. No matter what you see on social media, no matter who you may hear talking about how their life is so great and everything is going so good, everybody is going through something. Everybody is dealing with something, and a lot of it is behind closed doors. A lot of it is things that you would never really know looking from the outside in. A lot of you guys have learned to mask your depression, and mask your anxiety, and mask your panic, and mask your overthinking, and all of the other things. And just because you know how to hide it real good don't mean you're not going through it. And it doesn't mean that it is not taking a toll on you, right? So if you guys have any questions, if you are going through anything spiritually and you need assistance, guidance, if I can help in any type of way, feel free to use my comment section to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Again, you are not alone in the things that you are going through, and I think that that's the biggest thing that I want to relay or convey to y'all. A lot of times we just feel very lonely in our issues and in our problems. We feel like, the biggest part of it is that nobody will understand, right? A lot of us come from childhood trauma where, maybe people really didn't understand. Maybe, as a kid, you grew up in a household where you had to take care of yourself emotionally, right? It reminds me of, when older people would say, let that baby cry, so that they can learn, so they can self-soothe. And a lot of y'all been self-soothing for a very long time. Okay, they've been letting that baby cry for a very long time, right? And nobody has really been hearing your cries for help. Okay, hearing the sadness in your voice or in your energy. A lot of people have not been able to pick up on the fact that you are at your wit's end, or you are just stressed beyond belief. Okay, but Poca knows. All right, I understand. I know, I get it, I understand, because I am one of those people who is currently working out of that space as well. We understand that healing is an ongoing process. It's something that you will be doing for a while. It's not something that will be cured overnight. It's not something that, will be fixed with just a quick little this and a quick little that, and then everything is all good. No. This is a journey, which means that it is a process. Which means that every day is not going to be a good day. It just is what it is, right? Every day you're not going to feel like doing shit. Some days you're going to be like, fuck all of this and fuck all these people. It just is what it is, okay? And that's normal. I think a big part of it as well is, society makes us think that just because they put certain people in front of us and they show us that these people got money and these people got this and they got that, it tricks us into believing that every day is just supposed to be spectacular, that we're just supposed to be walking through a field of daisies and just live, laugh, love every, second of the day. And that's just not reality. Reality is sometimes it may not even be a day. It may be a week that you're not feeling like it. It may be a month that you just over all of the bullshit. It may be a couple months that you just over all of the bullshit, right? And those are normal emotions. And I feel like one of the biggest reasons why, a lot of people are scared out of healing is because people have normalized or tried to normalize the fact that, we're supposed to mask what we're experiencing or what we're feeling or what we're going through. Or people have tried to normalize the fact that every day is a good day and you're just supposed to feel good every day and you're supposed to get up and do shit every single day. And if you don't, something's wrong with you. I remember even growing up as a kid, me personally, our parents wouldn't even like for us to lay down on a Saturday. They would try to make us feel like we was being lazy and that, we were, unmotivated and, try to make it a negative thing that you wanted to lay down in your goddamn bed on a Saturday after being at school all damn day and dealing with whatever you were dealing with. So a lot of it is internalized things from our childhood that we still hold, dear to us internally, subconsciously, and don't even know. Still, forcing yourself to do things even though your body is asking you to rest, right? And then beating yourself up about it because you don't feel like doing the things that you feel like you need to do. So you beat yourself up about it, which doesn't help, doesn't do anything but cause more trauma, more triggers, more depression, more anxiety, more panic. Okay? So I want y'all to understand that what you are experiencing, especially right now with all that is going on, is normal. If you wake up and you don't feel like doing shit, it's okay to not do shit. Like, I really want y'all to understand that that's okay. If you want to quit your job because it's bringing you way too much stress, then quit. It's okay. All right. I know a lot of people, a lot of our parents and a lot of the older generation is like, well, you need to make sure that you got another job before you quit. Listen, you got to be okay with doing what is best for you. Regardless of what people around you think, regardless if they think that you lazy or you not making a good decision or blah, 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 blah. You got to do what's best for you. In the moment that you start to just be free in your own energy and allow yourself to just move and operate at the beat of your own drum, you're going to feel a lot goddamn better. Trust me. Okay? I quit my job 6 years ago almost. It'll be 6 years. It'll be like 5.5 years in the beginning of next year. And I've had so much peace. And Spirit worked everything else out. I didn't have to worry about money and finances because I just jumped into it. It was what I felt called to do. And not saying that everybody is called to do that. But my point is, do whatever you feel called to do. A lot of the reasons why a lot of us are stressed or depressed or having anxiety or panic attacks or whatever the case is because you're trying to fit the mold that somebody else laid out for you instead of just moving to the beat of your own goddamn drum. See, one thing about doing shit for other people is people are never satisfied. They're never satisfied. You can do everything that they say to a T, and they gonna wake up tomorrow and think of something else and say that you're not doing that either. Period. People are never satisfied. So if you are trying to live your life in accordance to somebody else's comfort, it's only going to make you uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable, you can't thrive. You can't thrive if you're walking around depressed. You can't thrive if you're walking around in panic and constant worry. You can't thrive like that. Nothing is going to get done. You're not going to go anywhere. Nothing's going to move. Nothing's going to shake. And that's why a lot of you guys are stagnant. Because you're not doing what is called for you to do. You're worried about what that person is going to say and how that person is going to feel and how these people are going to judge you, and trying to make this person happy and trying to make sure that this person is proud of you. Are you proud of yourself? That's the question. Are you content with yourself? Are you at peace with yourself? That's all that fucking matters. Because again, people are going to feel however the fuck they feel. It don't matter what you do. It don't matter what you say. It don't matter how good you think that you are for that person. How good you think that you're being to that person. They still want to find something to say. So are you living for yourself? And if the answer is no, then what is one thing that you can do that makes you feel at peace? It starts with one thing. A lot of times also, we are looking 12,000 steps ahead and not just focusing on the one step in front of us. Sometimes all you have the energy to do is take one goddamn step. Sometimes that's all you got. Listen, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I don't know what's going to happen a year from now. But I know in this moment, I can do X, Y, and Z. In this moment, I can take this one step, do this one thing to bring me some type of peace, to bring me some type of joy, to bring me some type of happiness. And I figure the rest out as I need to. Period. We get so caught up in trying to schedule everything out. We get so caught up in trying to figure things out light years in advance. And it was never meant for you to do that, which is why you find no success in that. There's no success in trying to figure out what you need to do next week. Next week hasn't come yet. So you don't know what you need to do next week until you get there. That's why we go with the flow. That's why we live in the moment. That's why we prioritize living in the moment. What do I need to do in this current moment to make myself feel better? And not something, that is negative. Not something that we know, is not going to bring us any type of positivity. Not leaning on our vices, because that's another thing, right? We have learned to self-soothe with vices. Things that we have become addicted to. Because that's the only way we know how to temporarily escape what we're feeling. So a lot of us have leaned on alcohol, smoking, sex, relationships that you don't even take seriously, getting into things and then regretting them later because in the moment you just needed to feel something. Right? This journey is not easy. It's not easy. And especially when you are working against things that have been a part of your life for a very long time. A lot of us have been leaning on these vices and doing these specific things for a very long time. We've been in these energies for a very long time. It just is what it is. So it's not an easy process. Right? And this is why I tell y'all all the time, you have to have compassion and understanding for yourself. You were not taught everything that you needed. If you was, you wouldn't be where you are. We got to call a spade a spade. Did you grow up in an environment that was actually beneficial to you? Probably not. Did you have somebody to lead you and guide you towards all of the answers that you need at this point in your life? Probably not. Were the people who raised you even in a mental capacity to really even raise you? Because let's talk about it. Some of the people that raised us didn't even really want us or wasn't expecting us. A lot of us was born because somebody, slipped up. Not because somebody chose to have us, not because somebody made a decision to come together with the person that they love. A lot of us just got here because two people laid down and two broken people laid down, and we just so happen to be a product of that. So how could these people who were unprepared prepare us? They couldn't. Now, do they have to take fault for that? Absolutely. But do you have to take fault for that? Absolutely not. That's not your cross to bear. However you got here, whoever brought you here, the reasons behind it, the traumas that they dealt with, the things that they gave you was not your cross to bear. It's not your fault that you were traumatized. It's not your fault that you were manipulated. It's not your fault that you were lied to. It's not your fault that you were taken advantage of. It's not your fault that you were abused. Those things are not your fault. Right? But at this point, we have to take responsibility for where we are currently. And that's not an easy thing to do. At all. Not even a little bit. Right? Because it may not be our fault that we got here, but it is our fault that we stayed here. And it's not an easy thing to admit. It's not an easy, thing to face. It's just not. Right? Because why did you do this to me? Why did you make me feel this way? Why did you give me your trauma? Why did you even bring me here? I remember asking that question a lot. If you wasn't going to do me right, if you wasn't going to love on me right, if you wasn't going to do your best to try to take care of me, why the hell did you even bring me here? I could have stayed in the astral realm somewhere, living La Viva Loca. You could have just sent me on the glory early. So I wouldn't even have to experience this bullshit. But you have a purpose. You had to be here. And that's not something that is easily understandable either. Especially when you are in the midst of your traumas. Especially when you are still dealing with your triggers. Especially when you are still going through. Especially when you are still annoyed and hurt and mad and angry. As you should be. And sad and confused. You don't want to hear, oh, you're supposed to be here when you going through what you going through. Bitch, I don't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear it. In the beginning stages of my journey, I don't want to hear that bullshit. Do you know how bad this hurts, ma'am, sir? And you trying to tell me I got a purpose? Fuck that purpose. That's how I felt. Do you know what I went through? And you trying to tell me I went through it to help somebody the fuck else and nobody helped me? The fuck is you talking about? I didn't want to hear that shit, but it was true. I couldn't see it at the time, but it was absolutely true. And that's why we say this is a journey. Because the way that we come into this journey is not the way that we leave it. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And there's so many things that happen in between the start of your journey and the end of your life. And you get to dictate that now. See, at first you was at the beck and call of somebody else. At first you was forced to be in those environments because those people had to take care of you. You was a kid. I mean, what was you going to do? And some of y'all didn't even have the environment. Some of you guys had to live on the street. Some of you guys were homeless. Some of you guys were in foster homes. Some of you guys were wards of the state, so you didn't even get that. Some of y'all felt like you went from bad to worse, from worse to worser, from horrible to terrible. And guess what? You still here. So I know you don't want to hear it right now, but you do got a purpose. There is things that you're supposed to be doing. And that's why you haven't been taken out of here yet. All of the people that pass away on a day-to-day basis and you're still here. That's not by accident. And you don't have to know what your purpose is right now. You don't. Because it's a journey. Maybe right now you just need to know who you are. Let's start there. Again, we not jumping 12 steps ahead. We got to start where we can start. Sometimes you don't even need to know who you are. Sometimes you just need to know who you are not. I know you're not a quitter. How do I know that? Because you still here. I know you're not an accident. How do I know that? Because you still here. Accidents are corrected. You still here. And I know that that's not just a coincidence either. So you don't have to know your purpose right now. You don't have to know what's going on. You don't have to have all the answers. Nobody doesn't have to, you know what I'm saying, nobody can fault you. You don't have to know. You don't got to know what's going on. You don't got to know the next steps. You don't got to know what's going to happen tomorrow. None of us do. It's okay. But eventually, you will walk into your purpose as soon as you figure out who you are. And figuring out who you are is a hell of a process. You got to be in relationships with people that don't serve you. You got to be around people that don't serve you. You got to go through things. You got to be in relationships with people that don't serve you. You got to be around people that don't serve you. You got to go through things by figuring out who you are not. I am not somebody that wants to feel that again. That's one step closer to who you are. I'm not somebody who wants to be around that type of energy again. One step closer to figuring out who you are. And again, you may not see it like that in this moment. But if you wake up every single day and your only goal for the day is to be better than yesterday, I promise you, I could put money on it. And I don't gamble with my money, you know what I'm saying? I don't like wasting money. But I could put money on it. If you wake up every single day and you say, I'm just going to do one thing better than I did yesterday. Just one thing. I'm not asking you to be a whole different person. I'm not asking you to change your whole life in 24 hours. That would be an absurd requirement. That would be something that don't even make sense. I'm not asking you to do all that. I'm not asking you to heal all your traumas overnight. I'm not asking you to stop cussing everybody out. Sometimes you just got to start with one thing. Maybe yesterday I cussed out 15 people. Today I only cussed out 10. Progress. You know? Maybe yesterday, you know what I'm saying, I didn't get out the bed. And today I at least made me a little something to eat. Progress. You know? It's simple things like that. And if you can do that every single day, eventually you're going to look up and there's going to be a whole lot of shit that's different. You're going to be in a whole different environment, whole different mentality, and not even realize it. Because you're just taking it step by step. That's what's important. taking it one day at a time. That's why we only get one day at a time. Our days are not compiled into 34 different days. We have one day at a time. You got to take 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time. All of that is for a reason. It's not for you to have it all compiled into one setting. Everybody will lose their damn mind. And that's why y'all are losing your mind. Because you're trying to compile everything into one setting. It's not going to work like that. All you're going to do is stress yourself out even more. And you don't have the space for any more added stress, any more added worry. Okay? So I'm going to take some questions. Feel free to comment. I've seen some questions, so I'm going to go back and then work my way up. Okay? Let's see. Why we feel like we don't want to be here, like it's something on the other side. Well, we are not from here. So you feeling like you don't belong here, or that you are not, naturally a part of what's going on, baby. We not from here. We are souls having a human experience. There's something that we were sent here to do that aligns with our purpose. And the reason why it's not making sense right now is just simply because you haven't yet aligned with your purpose. And that's okay. Because that's a process. Finding your purpose, aligning with your purpose, understanding your purpose is a process. So it's okay for you to be in a space where you feel like, I don't even feel, like I belong here. Another thing is, some of the environments that we are in, we have to admit that they are not for us. Some of the people that we around, some of the places that we go, our mental environment, our spiritual environment, our emotional environment, it doesn't serve us. So of course you're going to feel out of place, because that doesn't really align with who you truly are. And until you align with who you truly are, everywhere you go may feel like you're out of place. And that's okay, as long as you are working towards figuring that out. And that's why I say take it one day at a time. One step at a time is all you could do. Okay? I regret having children. Is that a bad thing? No. That's a real thing. That's you being real with yourself. That's you being honest with yourself. I regret having children. That's called acceptance. The first stage of healing is acceptance. I have to accept my truth for what it is. And then I can process it. So what I would ask you is, start working yourself through why questions. So if it's, I regret having children, ask yourself why. Why do I regret having children? And then you'll probably get to a because blah, 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 blah. Well, why do I feel that way? Because blah, 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 blah. And the more you ask yourself why, because only you have the answers. Only you can really figure out why you're feeling the way that you feel. And until we get to a place where we start to build that relationship with ourselves, the same way as if you're in relationship with somebody else and they're feeling some type of way, you're going to ask them why. Well, why do you feel that way? Well, what made you feel that way? We'll go into investigation mode. You got to do that same thing with yourself, because the answers are buried in there somewhere. You just got to do the work to get to it. And be patient with finding that answer. How do you get comfortable being around people who are hateful, jealous, or don't like you? So, number one, my question would be, is this an environment that you have to be in? Because we don't have to be in certain environments. And the beautiful thing about being an adult is you have free will. All right? And you can say, look, I feel like this environment does not serve me, so I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle. Whether that's an environment of family, whether that's an environment of friends, whether that's the city you live in, the state you live in, whether that's the job that you're working, you have the free will to exit stage left. Now, if it's a place that you have to be, like let's say, it's work, and you have to be there because, of course, you got to make your coin, then I would say you need to be asking yourself, why do you care? Sometimes, the reason why we care about people's opinions so much is because we were never accepted. And we're still trying to fight for acceptance. And when people don't like us, that's a part of not being accepted. But this is the thing. People don't like themselves. Some people don't like themselves. So they can never accept you. It just is what it is. Some people are not content within themselves. And maybe because you're walking around content within yourself, or maybe you're not, but it appears that way from your energy, it might just be disturbing them a little bit. People get disturbed by people who are, who appear to be in a better, place than they are. And it's not about, which I have to understand, because a lot of people be like, well, I don't got nothing, or I'm not, a big person. I'm not a famous person, or I don't have all of this and all of that. I don't got the clout, and I don't got this and I don't got that. Sometimes it's just your energy. That's what we learn as spiritual beings. Your energy speaks before you open your mouth. And when you walk into a room and your energy is speaking and it's loud, and it doesn't mean that it's loud in a bad way. It just means that maybe you're just confident. Or even if you're not confident, you just have a light. Or they are obsessed with the aura word. But your aura just speaks for you. No matter where you may feel like you are. Your aura is speaking for you before you even open your mouth. And certain people just don't like that. They don't like the light that you have within you, even if you don't even recognize that you have it yourself. Remember, people can see who we are before we even understand it. It happens like that all the time. People can see the light in you before you can even understand that you got the light. I tell y'all all the time, one of my favorite quotes by Kanye's mom is that a giant doesn't see a giant when it looks in the mirror. It just sees itself. So you may not even notice that you are who you are. You may not even be in a place where you are aware of your own energy. That don't mean the people around you aren't. And that's why it's so confusing to a lot of us. Because we like, well, damn, I don't even got my life together. I don't make as much money as the next person. I don't have as much clout or, people around me as the next person. I don't feel like I'm, as good looking as the next person. It don't matter. Physicalities doesn't matter in the spiritual realm. And y'all got to understand that. Being a spiritual being means that you need to understand that the spiritual realm matters first. Everything else is everything else. So none of that shit matters. So when you walk into a space, or people are jealous of you, or people are hating on you, or people are being mean to you, or people are mean mugging you and looking at you crazy and all of that, it don't mean you did anything wrong. You just being who you are. Okay? I regret it because I never wanted to be a mom. I never wanted to pass my trauma to my children. Okay, so now we getting into the healing aspect of it, right? It's not necessarily, and I'm not even going to discredit your feelings. Maybe you do feel regret in this moment. But it's not because of your own faults. It's because of what was done to you. And that's how a lot of us are. A lot of us, may regret certain things, especially when it comes to children or being a parent, or we may just regret being in certain places in our lives or making certain decisions or whatever the case is, because we are afraid that we are repeating what was done to us. But let me tell you this. If you are in this space and just with what you said, I regret it because I don't want to pass down my traumas, that's something called awareness. And I'm pretty sure that your mother was not aware of her traumas. So you already went up. Again, you got to go step by step. Give yourself credit for just being aware. The simple fact that you know that you don't want to pass down the traumas means that you are aware of your own traumas. That's the first step in healing. Acceptance, acknowledgement. I acknowledge that I'm fucking traumatized. I acknowledge that I'm a little fucked up. That's the first step. If that's all you can do right now, that's all you can do right now. Sometimes all we can do is just accept the fact that we are in the position that we're in. That's the first step. You can't help yourself if you can't acknowledge what the problem is. And you already have identified the problem. Give yourself credit for that. That's not an easy thing to do. Looking in the mirror and holding yourself accountable is the hardest part of this journey. There's nothing harder than facing yourself. Trust me. There is nothing harder than looking yourself in the mirror and accepting the fact that there's some shit that ain't all the way straight. There's a little dirt in the water. That's hard. That's not an easy thing to do in this world where everybody's trying to pretend that they perfect and putting pressures on everybody else to try to live a life like they perfect. That's not an easy thing to do in 2024. To admit that you got some issues. To admit that there's some things wrong with you. To admit that you need help. That's not an easy thing to do. At all. Not even a little bit. So if you've gotten to a space or you've gotten to a place in your life where you can be real with yourself and accept the fact that there are certain things wrong with you, baby, that's half the battle. That's half of it. Because there's so many people walking around us that don't even know that they got issues and problems. And they just out here infecting people. They just out here doing all types of shit. Bringing harm to people. Traumatizing people. Tearing people down. Obliterating people emotionally, mentally, physically. And they have no awareness. So the simple fact that you can say, look, I got some issues. Baby, that's awareness. And you got to pat yourself on the back for that. You got to reward yourself for the small things. Because people are not going to. That's another thing. A lot of us are waiting for somebody around us to tell us, to validate us. To validate that we've changed. To validate our hurt and our trauma. To admit that they did us wrong. People are not going to do that. Some might. And there's a very small percentage of people who would admit that they did you wrong and that they traumatized you or that they are a part of your pain. But it is not a common thing. That's why your journey cannot be contingent upon somebody else's validation of your pain. I know your mama hurt you, but she may never admit it. I know your daddy did you however he did you, but he may never admit it. I know them people made you feel however they made you feel, but they may never admit it. So what do? You have to go ahead and heal it. Because it's not going to affect them if you don't move. It's not going to affect them if you are depressed. It's not going to affect them if you are anxious and having panic attacks and anxiety attacks. It's not going to affect those people, but it will most definitely affect you. So you got to do it for you. So that you don't have to sit around holding on to all of that bullshit. So that you can live your life and do it differently. Do it differently. You don't have to live the same life that your mother lived. You don't have to traumatize your kids the way that your mother traumatized you. That's a decision and a choice. You can do it differently. You can wake up and change your whole life if you want to. Okay? Sometimes letting go is hard. Of course it is. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. That's another thing. Accepting the fact that it is supposed to be hard. If I was around you my whole life, if I spent time with you my whole life, if you were a big part of my journey, of course it's going to be hard for me to let you go. That's why we say take your time when it comes to those things, and be easy on yourself and have compassion and understanding with yourself, because it's going to be hard. It's supposed to be. A lot of us got into relationships with certain people because they gave us something that we felt like we never had before. Most of my relationships with men were people who I felt like could give me what my daddy didn't give me, to show up for me in the ways that my mama didn't show up for me. Of course. And to let those people go, the people that I felt like was supporting me, the people that I felt like saved me, the people that I felt like loved me, it was hard. And sometimes I went back. That's just life. Again, stop striving for perfection and just try to be real with yourself. I took the cheater back. I took the liar back. I took the manipulator back. I took the narcissist back. Because at the time it was better than being by myself. And then I realized that I only had them around because I was feeling or trying to fill a void that only I could feel. And that was a hard lesson to learn. Because who the fuck wants to know that? What you mean this person can't fill my void? What you mean you can't be everything that I want you to be? And then I also had to realize that I was putting expectations on people that they couldn't live up to, which was doing them a disservice. Because I was looking for that love that I wanted from my dad. I was looking for that support that I wanted from my mom. And when those people couldn't do it for me, I blamed them. And that was unfair. But that's a part of healing. Those are things that you start to understand as you go through your process. You may not see it that way in the beginning, because it's not for you to see it that way at first. If everybody saw everything from the beginning, then nobody would be in a situation that they need to heal from. Hindsight is 20/20 for a reason. Because obviously you didn't see what you needed to see. Obviously it wasn't as clear as it needed to be. But one day it got real clear. And I realized that I was holding them to the expectations of the people who hurt me. And that was not fair to them. Because they couldn't fill those shoes no matter how hard they tried. Remember in the beginning I said people, will never be satisfied? Well, sometimes we are those people that are never satisfied. Because we're looking for what we are supposed to be giving ourselves in all the wrong places. So the moment, my thing was I had abandonment issues. So the moment I felt like some shit was sketchy, I got the fuck. I'm a good leaver. A lot of people stay. Some of us, our vices is staying too long. My vice is, you got one time to show me some shit, baby. And I'm gone. Because I don't want you to hurt my feelings. I wasn't an emotional person. Not because I didn't have emotions, but because every time I did have emotions as a child, nobody was there to help me with them. Nobody cared about them. Nobody wanted to investigate them. So it made me cold. I'm just going to leave. Fuck you. I don't care if you did only one thing. Fuck yeah. I don't care. I'm scared. I don't like being vulnerable. Because every other time I was vulnerable, every single time I was vulnerable as a child, my vulnerability was disrespected. Unacknowledged. Nobody cared about it. So fuck it. I'm not going to be vulnerable. I'm not going to open up. I'm going to have this brick wall. You talking about mean? Mean. Because I was cold. And it don't happen like that for everybody. Some people, instead of being cold, some people are way too open. Because, you think that if I give it to you, you're going to give it to me. If I can stand here and be there for you and show up for you and love you and support you, then maybe, just maybe, you're going to do it for me. Maybe you're going to wake up one day and you can be like, oh my God, they love me so good. Let me love them good. Oh my God, they go out of their way for me every day. Let me go out of my way for them. I thought that was the answer. Some people think that was the answer. Let me show up for them and be super loyal. Now that was one of my problems. I be real cold, but once you got my guard down, I'm super loyal. Because I wanted loyalty. I wanted people to choose me. That was one of my things too. See, when you deal with abandonment, you want to be chosen. So the people who make you feel like they chose you and that they love you down and they don't want nobody else but you and they go hard for you, oh, that's crack. That's crack to a person that suffers with abandonment. Even though they may not be good for me, at least they picked me. That was my thing. So I took a married man. Sure did. Took him right from his wife. Why? Because he chose me. He left me for her. He left her for me, rather. Divorced her and everything. I broke up a whole ass family. Because I wanted to be picked. Y'all know I'm not ashamed of my truth. I done lived it. You can't make me regret nothing. It is what it is. That's what I did. He picked me over you, Nana Nana Boo Boo. Because my mama left me in my grandma's house. And my daddy said that he was going to come pick me up, and he never did. And he would be out with women. Making money. Or being a hoe. And my mama picked my brothers over me, even though I was the only girl and the oldest. And still to this day picks my brothers over me. But he chose me over his wife, Nana and the Boo Boo. That was my energy at 21 years old, dating a married man in his 30s. That was me. I used to love taking niggas from their girlfriends, because that means they had to make a decision. Oh, you made a decision? And I was the one you chose? Ego boost. Ego boost. I used to love it. What? Oh, you got a girlfriend and you still flirt with me? And you know what happened? Everything came crashing down. He was a narcissist. Surprise. He was a liar. Shocking. He cheated on her with me and cheated on me with somebody else. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. And then what did that do? Now I'm questioning myself. Well, I thought I was good enough. Now I'm reverting back to that childhood version of me that got left at my grandmama's house while my mama was taking care of the boys. And they was living with her, but I had to live with my grandma and her sister. It was spoiled. You know grandmas and how they do their babies was spoiled down. Had every materialistic thing that I could think of. My Christmases were amazing. But oh, baby. Sometimes you just want your mommy. And it don't matter how many toys and easy bake ovens you buy me. I want my mommy. I want my dad. And they could only do what they could do. They couldn't replace that love. They couldn't replace that spot. They couldn't fill that void. I wanted my mommy. I wanted my mommy to choose me. Because it's my mom. Who the fuck doesn't want their mom to choose them? I wanted my daddy to choose me over the women that he was fucking. Because it's my daddy. My father was dating one woman, and I remember, going over there for real at one point, and we was sitting at the table, and the women he dated, except his baby mama, she didn't like me too much because she didn't like my mama. That's a whole nother topic for another day of trauma, okay? Because the kids pay for the adults' faults way too much, right? And I went over there one day, and he was dating this one lady, and she was so nice to me. She had 2 other children, but she was so nice to me, and she would buy me things, and she would do things for me, and she would laugh and joke around with me. And me, him, and her son, we was all sitting at the table, and I was real close with her son because he was maybe a couple years younger than me. I was always the oldest, no matter where I went. But he was a couple years younger than me. And we were sitting at the table, and I used to bite my nails a lot because I was anxious all the time. A traumatized kid. At 5, I was assaulted. You become anxious. I was anxious all the time, right? And I was biting my nails, and my father took my hand. He was like, "Why you keep biting your nails?" And he looked at it, and then he took his girlfriend's hand, and he was like, "See, this is how a woman's nails are supposed to look." And that thing broke my heart. And I couldn't understand as a child why it hurt my feelings so bad that he did that to me. Right? And it wasn't until I became an adult and I didn't realize that I was carrying that thing around. And that's what happens. Little things like that happen in our life, and it creates a crater in our heart rather. And we don't really notice it. We feel what we feel, but we're not at an age where we can really articulate why we feel the way we feel. And it wasn't until I got into my healing journey and that thing just kept replaying in my head. And I realized in that moment, he showed me that she was more important to me. That's how I took it as a kid. You compared me to a grown woman. And instead of you saying, "Don't bite your nails, baby. Let's go get them done. Let's go put some polish on them. Let's figure out why you even biting your nails. You need to talk to somebody." Now, my father did try to usher me into therapy. And as a kid, I'm like, "Nigga, I don't need therapy. I just need you to show up. What the fuck? I don't want to go to therapy." Because we know the stigma of therapy on black kids. And I didn't want to be put on medicine. You hear all of the things. I'm like, I don't want to do that shit. And I felt like he was just trying to throw me off. Instead of you just sitting there and asking me some questions as my dad. You doing everything else. Criticizing me, comparing me to grown women, all type of weird shit. Right? And it's so simple. Trauma is so simple. It can be your feelings getting hurt. It can be you being embarrassed. It can be somebody saying something to you. It doesn't always have to be physical. And a lot of times we skip over the fact that we're traumatized because we're looking for it to come in a specific type of way. We think that the trauma is supposed to be something that is very obvious, like, being essayed or, assault or, something physical or somebody cussing at us. And it's not always that big. Sometimes it's somebody just simply invalidating your feelings or saying something that embarrasses you. Especially in the black community, because everybody talks shit. And it is a coping mechanism in our community to make people try to feel lower than what we feel. Right? So a lot of times, people says things about us as kids and it hurt. It hurt our motherfucking feelings to the core. Damaged us, traumatized us. Oh, little fat. Gave us nicknames. Skinny Minnie. And I was always short and super petite. 5 foot. So, of course, I was shorter as a kid. Midget, mini-me, things that they don't think is that deep, but it's deep to you. But as a child, you're not able to articulate those things. If you tall, they called you giraffe or long legs, or, children are mean, but adults are meaner. Because you too grown to be doing that to a child. You should know better. And children only repeat what they hear. So, yeah, a lot of them children are mean because they were affected or targets back at home. Most of the kids that came to school bullying somebody, they were getting fucked up at home. Most of them kids that came and was fighting all the time and mean all the time and in behavioral classes and having behavioral issues were traumatized. We couldn't understand that as kids. So they bringing their trauma from home and giving it to you at school. And then you going home with the trauma and you already going through your own shit at home. So it's just a cycle of trauma. And when it comes from family, when it comes from the people that you love, when it comes from the people that you think are supposed to be protecting you, it just hurts. It hit a lot harder. And it hurts a lot deeper. It affects you a lot deeper. And you become an adult that starts to bully yourself. I'm so stupid. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can never do this right. I can never get this right. This always happens to me. I ain't going to never have success. I ain't going to never have this. I ain't going to never have that. This is never going to be my reality. Sometimes we become adults who are jealous of other people. That's a trauma response. Jealousy is a trauma response. We just talked about that earlier. It's a trauma response. I don't feel good enough to have what you have, so I'm mad at you. Because you are the face. You represent everything that I really want. You are the face of my goals. What the fuck makes you better than me? Oh, because you think you prettier? Oh, because you think you cuter? My mother was jealous of me. And I couldn't see it because, you probably can't tell on this camera, but my father is a dark-skinned man. My mother is a very, very fair-skinned woman. She's not white passing or nothing like that. She blackity black. You know what I'm saying? She comes from 2 black parents. But we call it red in our community. The black community, red. Light skin. Right? Bright-skinned. So I was always the darker friend. For some reason, I always gravitated or I always had friends that were light-skinned. I don't know. I was always the darker friend. And my mama was light-skinned. And people didn't think that was my mom when I was growing up. Because kids are kids. So they think that if you dark-skinned, your parents supposed to be dark-skinned. If you light-skinned, your parents supposed to be light-skinned. Because my mama was light-skinned and she would come pick me up, they'd be like, And I internalized that. And my mother sometimes when she would get mad, she would go for my hair because she had internalized trauma about her appearance. Even though she was a light-skinned person, she had 4C hair. I don't have 4C hair. It's genetics. That's just how genetics play out. My father has 4, maybe 4B, 4A. So I have like a mixture of 4B, 4A, and I don't have 4C hair. I've always had long hair because my grandmother, my father's mother, who raised me, her and my aunt, which is her sister, they always made sure my hair was done. They always used like oils and stuff like that. I didn't start getting perms until my mother made me think that I needed a perm. Because her mother made her think that she needed a perm. And her mother made her think that she needed a perm. Instead of people just teaching us how to deal with our hair. We have 4C hair. We have 4 whatever hair. It's not supposed to be straight. It's supposed to be kinky. It's supposed to have some naps in it somewhere. A brush is not supposed to go through it easily. A comb is not supposed to go through it easily, but ain't nobody teach us that. They told us that it was wrong. They told us that something was wrong with it, because people told them that something was wrong with it. And a lot of our great grandparents and grandparents, they grew up in a time where black was not something to be proud of. They wasn't taught that. That's why, Madam C.J. Walker invented that damn straightening comb. Because they wouldn't even let us work a job unless our hair was like them. Not even understanding that they was jealous of us the whole time. They was mad that we had curls. They was mad that we had big hair. They was mad that we could rock our afros. They didn't like that shit. Their hair is dead. Our hair is alive. They didn't like that. They, again, knew who we were before we knew who we were. So our grandparents internalized that hatred. And then they taught it to their daughters and their sons. And then they taught it to us. Generational curses. So when my mama would get mad at me, she would take my hair and wrap it around her hand and use it as a way to control me and point me in whatever direction she wanted to point me in. Drag me off the bed with it. Whatever she wanted to do. Pull me to the ground. My hair was always a target. And I didn't understand that. Because I'm like, well, damn, I didn't pick this for myself. What the hell? Internalized hatred. Self-hatred. Right? So a lot of these things, again, are traumas that are passed down. And these people are just not aware of the fact that they're even holding on to it. My mother, if you asked her to this day about why she did what she did, she'll tell you I deserved it. My mama a pastor. Her mama's a pastor. She'll tell you I deserve it. Oh, you must have been saying something. You must have been doing something. You had a lot of mouth. I did. Because I was hurt. That was my defensive mechanism. That was my defense, my mouth. I was short, petite. At that point, maybe 90, probably not even that, 80-something pounds soaking wet. So my mouth was my fight. You damn right I had a lot of shit to say. You goddamn right I talk too much. And I always got in trouble for my mouth. Was always smart in school. But eventually I said, fuck that. I was on an honor roll and everything through elementary school. By the time I got to middle school, I said, fuck all of that. Because that's when them traumas really started to show their head. The older I got. And then you mix that with hormones. What the hell? I was losing my shit. I was doing all types of shit in school that my parents didn't know nothing about. Kissing girls. And you can't go back to a black household and they Christians and tell them that you kissing girls at school. You can't do that. You can't do that. So I had to walk around with that too. Secrets. Getting in trouble. Letting boys fill on me. Because at 5 I was assaulted and didn't know that was assault because it happened to me by another child. Another kid. It wasn't a grown adult for me. But for some people, for a lot of people, it's a grown adult. For me, it wasn't a grown adult. It was a child. So I didn't think that I was assaulted. I didn't think that anything happened. I just thought it was kids being kids. But it was against my will. But I didn't register that. So I had to carry that around. And then once a child is introduced to something like that, a lot of us become hypersexual. So by the time I got to high school, I was ready to get this thing up. I'm going to be real. Y'all know me. Open book. Because healing is important, and I know that that's my purpose. And I know I went through a lot of the things I went through so that I can be here in this moment to help you. By the time I got to high school, I was ready to bust this thing wide open. You understand? Was already basically addicted to porn at that point. That started in middle school. You get curious. Curiosity. And you know, we are the internet generation. Millennials. We the internet generation. So we was dead in the trenches when the internet was first becoming the internet. We done seen it at every stage, from dial-up all the way to where it is now. We done lived through all of it when it comes to this goddamn internet, which is why a lot of us is over it at this point. So we done seen it all and done seen way too much. So by the time I got to high school, I was very hypersexual. Lost my V card at 15, literally a week before my 16th birthday. And instead of my mother, she knew immediately that I lost it because I started acting different. You know, mothers do know, you know, when they paying attention. They know some certain things. They always know who fast, but they don't never know who hurt. It's real weird. They know that you were fast ass, as my mother used to call me, but she didn't notice that I was traumatized and depressed. Strange how that goes, right? Hello? So when she found out, I didn't get to have a sweet 16. I spent my whole life watching. Y'all know we the millennial generation, we would watch Sweet 16 on motherfucking MTV, and it was just waiting, just praying for the day that we turned 16, because it was just glorified. I didn't even get to do anything for my sweet 16 because I was being punished for losing my virginity because I was sexually assaulted. Because I didn't, because I lost my V card. I didn't get to celebrate my birthday. And it took my aunt, my mother's sister, who she didn't have a good relationship with, because for some reason the women in our family are taught to hate each other and to be in competition and to blame each other for the things that the parent is doing. So she always had a back and forth relationship with her. But it took my aunt, a fellow Gemini, to come and bring me a cake because my mother said she wasn't doing shit for me. So my aunt brought me a cake and some crab legs. And if you from the DMV or you from Maryland, you know crab legs is always a good time. We bust down crabs for fun. And I'm a June baby, so that's right at the beginning of the summer. She was the reason why anything was done for me for my 16th birthday. Because my mama said, I'm not doing shit for you because I lost my virginity. Instead of sitting down and talking to me, instead of trying to, have a conversation, have a dialogue, I was punished. And a lot of us were punished for the results of our parents not paying attention, for the results of our parent treating us a certain type of way. We were punished for their sins, for what they did to us, how they made us feel. So you know what that did? You think that made me nicer? Hell no, it made me colder. And once you open that floodgate, it was what it was. And because I had daddy issues, I liked older men. So when I was in high school, I wanted to date everybody that wasn't in school. So then I was, accessible to predators. Niggas who was 20-something years old coming to my high school to pick me up. And I'm 15 and 16. Young as hell. When I was 21, I wouldn't even look twice at an 18-year-old. But these people was 25, 26. One of my mother's childhood friends that grew up in the neighborhood with my mom and all her cousins and, you know, all of that. He would come around, you know, when we was at family events, because, again, he knew my whole family. They grew up around the same neighborhood and everything. And he would look at me. And it will always be so weird to me, because I was 15, 16 maybe. And this man was 30-something. Close to being 40 at that point. If not, damn near 40. And one day when I turned 18, a little bit after that, he inboxed me. And at that point, I knew how to manipulate. See, one thing about people who are traumatized, we start to learn. We learn how to be manipulative. We learn how to get what we want. Especially as women. Shit, and men. You learn to get what you want. You learn to manipulate people into things. And you don't mind giving up certain things because, shit, you done gave it up already for free. Or you done had certain things taken from you. So I used to get money from him. And one day he came to my mama's house to bring me some money because I wanted to go get my nails and my feet done. And I was, at that point, 18. Yeah, 18 years old. Just graduated. And that man had sex with me on the floor of my mother's house for $60 for me to get my nails and my feet done. At 18 years old. And he was older than my mama. My mama had to be, if I was 18, my mama was 38. So he had to be at least in his early 40s, maybe. And I didn't care. I let it happen. Because I wanted $60 to go get my nails done. That's what trauma will do. That's what being traumatized will do to you. You'll excuse things like that because it is what it is. When you've been SA'd at 5, what is 18? You know? You don't care. I wanted what I wanted at the time. I wasn't working no job. Was what it was. Thank you. He did what he had to do. Wasn't long. He was so excited to do it. So it ain't last long. I got up, took a shower, cleaned myself up, and I felt so disgusting at the end. But I went and got my nails and my feet done. So I felt like I got something out of it. And my trauma told me that I one-upped him. That's what my trauma told me. That I was the one who got something out of that. Even though I was losing everything and didn't know it. Had no idea. Then I moved out of my mama's house because we just couldn't get along. Moved in with my mama in middle school. Moved out at 18 while she was out of town. Went to go live with a boyfriend that I met at work. Only knew that man for maybe a month before I moved in with him. He was like my first real love. You know, you get your fake loves and the people you think you love when you in school and shit. But I lived with him. So he was like my, you know, just talking about two people obsessed with each other. And his mama accepted me because he was still living with his mama. He was 21 at the time. I was 18. And his mama let me come in there and live with her and him. And they accepted me. And she loved on me. And then he found out that his ex-girlfriend was 3 months pregnant. And he asked me, you know, is it okay if we stay together? Because, you know, She gonna have a baby. There's nothing I can do about it, but you know, I still want to be with you. And I said, of course, I love you. It happened before I was here. I love you so much. Of course, we can stay together. Of course. I love you, boo. Me and you was never part. And that was 6 months of hell with that lady being pregnant because she was traumatized. And she thought that having that baby was going to make him want her back. And she would call my phone all day. I would be at work. And you know, back then, iPhones, you know, the call didn't just pop up at the top. Your whole screen would be the phone call. So if somebody is calling you over and over, you can't use your phone. And even if you block the number, you can't stop them from calling you. Even with the number blocked. This was back in 20, I don't even know. So she would just call me all day. And I had to use my phone to make calls for work. And I couldn't do that because she would call my phone over and over. And because I had to grow up so fast, I learned how to problem solve. So I would try to text her like, girl, like, what's up? You want to have a conversation? You want to talk? I don't mind talking to you. We don't have to be, you know, beefing. You know, I had enough sense to know that if you having this man's child, I'm going to be around the baby, and I don't beef with babies. So if you want to have a conversation, let's talk. She didn't want to talk. She was hormonal. She was pregnant. She was hurt. She was traumatized. She had her own trauma. Now, I'm not going to speak on her trauma because that's her truth to tell. Right? And eventually she had that beautiful baby girl. And it was on Easter Sunday going into that Monday. So it was like, I think she was born like maybe 12 a.m., 1 a.m., something, that rising, that Monday after Easter Sunday. We had went to church, of course, because I was raised in the church. The most trauma you're going to find is in the church. The most unaddressed trauma, unhealed trauma you're going to find is in the church. So, she had a baby. I had to sit in the waiting room while everybody was back there for hours. But they was having a little moment. And I was just sitting there, just content. Because I knew we was going home together. That's how I was thinking about it. Shit, I'm going home with him. So, y'all can have this baby. I'll sit out in this waiting room and watch YouTube on my phone. We went home. And that night, and I know this was Spirit speaking through me this whole time. That night, you know, my intuition said, text her. So I sent her a text from his phone. I said, hey, you know, this is Shay, because the people who know me call me Shay. Say, hey, this is Shay. I know you just had the baby, and I want to let you know, like, I'm not beefing with you. You know, you just brought a baby into this world, and I'm going to be around, so I don't want us to be at odds, because a child shouldn't grow up in that environment. Because I was a child who grew up in a toxic environment because my parents was beefing with each other. And my father's other baby mama wanted to fight my mama. I didn't want that for that baby. That baby just got here. And one thing about me, I don't want to repeat, just like baby girl said, I don't want to repeat what was done to me. I know what that pain feels like. I didn't want to have all that drama around no new baby. Not me being a part of that. That's absolutely insane. I said, so, you know, tomorrow I know, or later on, you know, in the day, I know he's going to come up there and want to see the baby. If you don't want me to come, that's fine, you know. But I would love to come and maybe hold her for a little while so you can get some rest. And I was very genuine about it. Even after her calling my phone and doing all of that, I had enough common sense to know that she was hurt, just like I had been hurt before. And she said, no problem. I don't mind you coming up there. I said, okay, cool. Came up to the hospital. And when I walked in, I tried to keep my distance. I don't want to make nobody feel uncomfortable. One thing about me, I've always tried to put myself in other people's shoes. So I don't want to make nobody feel uncomfortable, especially just having a baby. I don't want to be insensitive. I don't want to do none of that, right? So I came up there and, he had to sign the paperwork and sign off on the birth certificate and all of the things. And she was like, you want to hold her? I was like, okay, sure. I held her, beautiful little baby. I always say my baby looked like a little alien when she first came out. Babies be looking a little alien. She was so cute. Held her and gave her back to her mom eventually so that she could, feed her. I think she was breastfeeding at the time. And it was only one chair in the room. And I was sitting in that chair when I was holding her. And my boyfriend at the time, her baby daddy, wanted to come and sit in the chair. So he sat down and I sat on his lap. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I wasn't thinking in the moment. I'm so used to being around this man. I done lived with him for 6 months. This is what we do. That was my best friend. We did everything together. We were inseparable. There's only one chair. So I sat on his lap. Why the fuck did I do that? That sparked something within her. Immediately, she played the cool while we was there. But once we left, she sent him a text. I don't want that bitch around my baby and da. And I was like, ugh. Just when I felt like I was getting somewhere with her. Again, I'm still 18. So everything I was doing wasn't going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? I could only do what the fuck I could do at the time. But she went off. I said, okay. So I still pressed him to go see his baby. You got a newborn. You need to go see your child. I could stay at the house. It's not that deep. Again, you got to come home and sleep with me. It ain't that deep. It is what it is. What the fuck? I don't care. You need to just be in your child's life, because I know what it's like to not have a dad, an active dad. I know what it's like to have my daddy with another woman and not making time for me. I don't want to put that little girl through that. I don't care if she just got here 2 seconds ago or not. You better go over there and let that baby get familiar with you. We not doing that. Now, that's one thing I ain't never do. I ain't never was with no niggas that didn't take care of their kids. I ain't never liked that shit, because that sparked some shit in me. You talking about a trigger? Oh, baby, that was my trigger. What you mean you not going to be in this baby life? What you mean you not going to do X, Y, and Z? The fuck is wrong with you? The hell you talking about? So I will make him get in the damn car and drive his ass 30 minutes to go be with that baby. And I don't care what's going on over there. I don't care if she talking to you, flirting with you. I don't give a damn. Just be around that goddamn baby. Again, we were inseparable. I knew that I knew that I had that nigga. I wasn't worried. So eventually, she got to a place where she was okay with the baby coming over to where we were. So maybe I want to say like a week or two after she was born, he started getting her, and she would spend one night over with us, and then she would go back home. And I think it was maybe the 3rd week of doing that, she brought the baby. She brought like a lot of baby stuff to the house, because he went to go get her, and she just gave him like a whole bunch of stuff that she had, like a whole bunch of formula, a whole bunch of clothes, all types of stuff that she had gotten for the baby. And I was so confused. I'm like, well, why does she need all this stuff? Because his mom had bought a lot of stuff, and it wasn't like the baby was staying there that long to have a whole bunch of stuff like that, because in the first couple of months, the baby is usually with the mama a whole lot, so I'm like, what the fuck, She came and brought all that stuff and disappeared. Like when ghosts. Like ghosts. And I don't mean like for a couple days. I mean like for like 3-4 months. So So who you think took that responsibility to make sure that baby was good? Now I'm stuck at that point with a 2 to 3 week old baby. Because I wasn't going to abandon that baby. I was abandoned. I wasn't going to, not take care of the baby. And because me and him together, she got to be with us. So I became mommy. And then he started cheating on me. And leaving me in the house with the baby. His baby. A baby I ain't asked for. And I said, I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying. We started getting into arguments. He started lying, being sneaky, not coming home, saying he was going down the street to his friend's house to play the PlayStation. And then I would call the friend, because now it's 4 o'clock in the morning. He's nowhere in sight. The friend is like, he not here. I ain't seen him. What the fuck you mean you ain't seen him? He said he's at your house. So, I had to move back with my mama. Because you're not going to play with me. And it broke my heart to leave that baby there. Because, of course, now you attached. The baby know me, I know the baby. That's all we know. All the baby know is me. At this point, she only spent a week and a half with her mama. But I had to do it. Because I couldn't sit and lay beside somebody who was betraying me. Again, I told y'all, my abandonment issues told me to leave. When people start playing with me, I got the fuck. And I turned cold. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to be around you. I can't sleep in a bed next to you. And I'm doing all of this for you. Hell no. I went back to my mama's house. Even though that was a toxic ass place for me. I was like, I'd rather be there. At least I know what's going to happen there. At least I know we got beef. You? I didn't expect it. So, when I got there, I'm like, okay. I went a week cold, didn't say nothing. Then I reached out like, can you bring the baby to me? Let her spend a weekend with me. Because I'm attached, she attached. And he wasn't really taking care of her like that. A lot of men don't know what the fuck to do with no baby. And he bought her. Maybe for like a week. I would say maybe like 2 weeks to a month. We went back and forth. Basically co-parenting. Until one day, he called me and said, can a baby stay with you for a week? Because, the water got cut off. And that wasn't an uncommon thing. Because we was living in the trenches. I was living with him. We was in the trenches. So it wasn't uncommon for that water to get cut off sometimes. I believed it. I was like, okay, cool. Of course you can bring her. I miss her anyway. And you know what he did? Brought me all her stuff and disappeared. I said, I know this is not real life. This cannot be real. I know you fucking lying. I'm calling. The first couple days he was responding, oh yeah, the water's still off, the water's still off. Baby, after a week, phone just going straight to voicemail. I said, what the fuck? Am I in a fucking movie? You couldn't have paid me to think that shit was real life. I said, is Tyler Perry writing this script, bitch? What the fuck is going on? Now I got a whole, at that point, 6-month-old baby. Just turned 19. Back at home, my mama. I said, this is some shit right here. But I wasn't going to put her in foster care. That's abandonment. I was abandoned. I wasn't going to leave her. That's abandonment. I was abandoned. I'm just going to have to thug it out. I'm going to have to do what any single mama would do. Thug it the fuck out. And my mama fell in love with the baby. My brothers fell in love with the baby. So I had support. They loved her down. Just literally as if she was their own. So we took care of her. She turned 1. She started walking. And we would take her to church with us. And everybody loved her. My grandmama was the pastor. She would tell all the other babies to sit down and make sure your kids not walking and running in this church and da-da-da-da and blah, 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 blah. My little fat chunky monkey, she could do whatever the fuck she wanted to do. She'll wobble her ass all the way up on the pulpit and take mints out of the little mint thing while my grandmother in a full, just preaching, full on. Her ass is wobbling the fuck up there, getting mints and bringing it back to me. Open. I had to open it and break a little piece off of it so she could fucking eat the damn mints. I had a pocketbook full of mints. Everybody loved her. Everybody treated her with love. Which is what I wanted for myself. Everybody chose her. Which is what I wanted for myself. So I was happy. I loved her. And then I got in contact with her mom. And me and her mom got cool. Still hadn't heard from the daddy. Mind you. Still wasn't really hearing from him. Because he had moved on to the next person that he wanted to be with. And moved her in his mama house the same way he moved me in his mama house. The same way he moved his baby mama in his mama house before me. He was just repeating his cycle over with somebody else that was way younger at that point. I think that girl was like 16. And at that point, he had to be every bit of 22. But trauma. I guess it was the trauma house. We was on the trauma train. And I got cool with the mama. And we started co-parenting. It was the weirdest shit. It's fucking weird. But I didn't care. I loved that little girl. And I always wanted her parents to be a part of her life. It wasn't as though I didn't. I always wanted that. I would always try to call and let her, FaceTime and things of that nature. Because I was like, well, damn. I know how I felt as a child. Even though she was a baby. And she probably didn't really know what the fuck was going on. I said, I know how I felt not being able to be around my parents. So I'm at least try to make sure that they can be as active as they possibly can. So I would keep her during the week. Couldn't work because she didn't want nobody else to be around her. She would scream to the top of her lungs when I left her with my brother so I can go to try to get jobs and go on interviews. I'm talking about attached at the hip, Velcro baby. Velcro baby. I was singing in church and I had to hold her the whole time because she would scream to the top of her lungs if it was anybody else but me. So I couldn't work from 19 to maybe like 21. I couldn't really work because I had to be at home with the baby that I didn't make. But the baby I wasn't going to turn my back on either. Because I saw me in her. I saw my life starting to unfold in her. And I said, oh, hell no. That won't be your truth. Not at all. So her mom would get her on the weekends. And it was to the point her mom would have to call me. She's crying. Or is she allergic to this, and that? And what do you usually do when this and that is happening? I feel like the real mama. I said, well, goddamn, you pushed her out. You don't know nothing about this child. You have to call me and ask me what to do for your baby. It's your baby. You carried her for 9 months. What you mean? What do you mean? But I didn't judge her. I just helped. I did what I could. Whatever you need me to do. Oh, you want to bring her back? Okay. It's Monday. She bringing her back to me like how a daddy would drop off the baby to the mama after the weekend is up. I'm packing her little bags for the weekend to go with her mama. Was what it was. I'm taking weekends off like a single mother who getting a break. And I'm still being promiscuous. That didn't change because I didn't understand if that was a part of my trauma. I just thought that I just was being I thought I was just the shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was just the shit. I got all these niggas on my line. I'm the shit. So on my weekends, I enjoy my weekends doing what I wanted to do, honey. Hello? And then it turned into her, you know, from her just getting her on the weekends to her getting her throughout the week sometimes. And then eventually, you know, I was able to work and make me some money. And then it turned into me getting her on the weekends and her being with her mom. And I missed her, but I was so happy. Because one thing about her mom, no matter what she was going through, she took care of her baby. And I will never take that away from her. She took care of her baby. She loved her baby. She would go out and buy all types of things and all types of clothes and bring her all types of stuff. So I knew she was in good hands. That's all I cared about. I wanted her to be in good hands. So I was able to go to work. And on the weekends, I would get my baby. And she would be so happy to see me. And I was so happy to see her. And then I, you know, left whatever job I was at the time. And I was like, I want to start a radio show. You know, a Gemini. 13 different things that you want to do. I want to start a radio show. I talk all the time on social media and get my opinions all the time on social media. I'm going to start me a radio show. And that's exactly what I did. I started a radio show that was local in my city on satellite radio. And this is when satellite radio was first starting to really pop. And it was doing numbers. I was so content and so happy. And I just knew I was about to be the next Wendy Williams or somebody. You know? And a family friend had a gospel group. His grandmother sung with my grandmother back in the day in a gospel group. And, you know, me being a church baby, all the people I was around basically went to church. And, you know, in the black household, you just call everybody cuz. They not really your cousins. But you just be like cuz. Because it's just easier. Right? And this is a 30-year-old married man. My whole family knew him because they grew up together. My grandmama sung with his grandmama. So our families have always been intertwined. And he was just debuting his, you know, all men's gospel group. So I had him on the show. And we got cool. And we was texting. And it was very innocent at first. Until one day, me, him, and my actual cousin, we all went out. And we went like bar hopping. We was having a great time. And then, you know, he dropped both of us off. Because my cousin was staying with us on the weekends at the time. Because she lived in Baltimore. So she would just, you know, stay at the house with us. So that she can go to church on Sundays. And that night, he texted me and was like, I just was, you know, I just really like you, and I didn't realize it until tonight. And I'm like, what? Don't you got a wife? What the fuck? Because we used to be on FaceTime talking all day, like, just locked in. All the men I've ever been in real relationships with, we were always, like, besties. So we was just locked in. I'm just thinking, you know, we just real close. Because I believed in platonic relationships as far as friendships. I didn't, believe you had to fuck everybody that you was friends with. I had enough sense for that. But he was like, yeah, I really like you, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay. But what about your wife? Don't you got a wife? Well, we're separated. Well, no goddamn separated. But anyway. We're separated. We're going through blah, 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 blah. And in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe that makes sense. Because we would be talking late at night. I'm talking about 10:30 into the wee hours of the rising. 1, 2 o'clock. He in the house with his wife. I'm like, what the fuck? Do she know that you're talking to somebody? We're separated. Okay. I believed it. For whatever reason. Trauma. And we started getting hotel rooms. And he was able to do it because, he wasn't always home anyway. Sometimes he would sleep at his best friend's house. So she would just think that that's where he was. Mind you, the wife was pregnant with their second child, which would be his third child. Because he had one before. Then he got his wife pregnant the first time. And then she was pregnant again. So we would get hotel rooms in different cities or in the city. And he had a pre-planned trip for their anniversary. It was already pre-planned before he even met me. Everything was paid for, so they still went. He told me he was going on this trip, and I was just like, well, why are you going if you don't want to be with her? I don't understand. He was like, well, her parents paid for it, and I can't just not go, and blah, 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 whatever the excuse was. Anyway, so they went on this trip, and he was still texting me and FaceTiming me while on the trip, and I was so confused. I'm like, where is she invisible? Like, where is she? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm just asking questions like, what the hell? She's pregnant, so she's in the hotel room sleep. And he on the beach on FaceTime with me. So she goes through his Apple Watch and finds all of our text messages. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on at the time because I'm at home. And he calls me like, yeah, she found everything. And the trauma in me, y'all know my abandonment issues is to what? Get the fuck. So I said, oh, well, we need to just end this because, obviously you're married, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure you're going to choose your wife. And mind you, let's give a little backstory. Let's tie it into generational curses, right? And I'm telling y'all all of this because, number one, some of y'all have heard all of these stories before if you've been following me for a long time. But I share my stories because it's so important to understand how trauma plays a role in the decisions that you make, right? And how generational curses affect you, even if you don't even know what the generational curses are. My granddaddy, my mother's father, okay, grew up in the South. And he left his whole family to move to D.C. and marry my grandma. I was still married to his wife in the South. My mother dated married men. Okay? So it was in my family line. The generational trauma of being with men who were already taken was in my family line. I didn't know about all of this until I got old enough to understand what was going on. Because I didn't know why when my granddaddy died, a random lady came and took his body and we didn't get to bury him. I didn't understand that. Until I got older and realized, oh, you ain't never divorced. You just left and started a whole new family in a whole new state in a whole new city. And you die And we sitting here beefing with your old family, and they come and take your body. These people ain't had you in the last 60 years. But they got to come take your body from us, so we didn't get to bury you. All because you wanted to move the way you moved. So now fast forward to his grandchild in this situation with a married man. So I'm like, listen, try to work it out with your wife. I take my L. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to taking L's around this bitch. It is what it is. And that man said, we was on FaceTime, and he said, I don't want to be with her. I want to be with you. I'm going to get a divorce. You talking about flabbers being gasted. You talking about perplexed. I said, did he just say what I think he just said? Remember, my abandonment said I wanted to be what? Chosen. That was a decision. He chose me over his pregnant wife. So I said, well, okay, what you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna move out. Which he did. That same week, when they got back, a couple days later, he moved out, slept on a friend's couch. I said, okay. We still was getting hotel rooms. And then at that point, he just, now it's all out in the open. He didn't give a shit no more. Now we out and about. We going places. He was already taking care of me, buying me stuff. You know what I'm saying? Buying me shit. And the latest iPads. And I had Apple Watches. And I had, you know, that's when Fashion Nova first got the popping. I would get $150 to $200 every week for me to get new outfits and clothes and just all type of shit. And I don't mean we were staying in no little rinky-dink hotels. We were staying in nice hotels in DC. Okay, if you know anything about DC, it's a little coin to stay in them nice hotels. But on the weekends, baby, we was in the nice hotels, going out bar hopping and having a great time. I was 21 years old. He was 34. I was having the time of my life. I've never been taken care of. My daddy ain't spent this much time with me. My daddy ain't spent this much money on me because my father used to tell me I had to have good grades to get new clothes. Internalized childhood trauma. I had to do good in school, and I had to be a good child to get necessities from my parent. I couldn't get no time from my daddy. He would call me and tell me that he's at work. Oh, I'm gonna come pick you up. And I would sit, literally pull up a chair and sit in the window of my grandmother's house waiting for that car to pull up, and it never did. So my heart was broken over and over and over and over and over. And here come this man that wants to leave his wife for me and buy me everything I want. And we would go on little staycations and little mini vacations and, you know, go to different cities and all types of stuff. It was unapologetic. Would take me around his friends and the people who knew him and his wife. Again, I was in church, so I was singing in the gospel group. He had his own gospel group. He was a drummer, but he had a gospel group that he started, and we would have to do programs and go to churches, and sometimes we was on the same programs, and we were walking together, pull up together, walking together, and people like, what the fuck? Y'all know church people. Whew. Boy, you talking about drug my name through the dirt. Because for some reason, the cheating man is not at fault. But the woman he cheated with is a hoe and a whore and a home wrecker and a this and a that and a bop 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 and fast and loose and all. I mean, all the names, all the names, all the names. But you know why I didn't care? Because he would defend me. You know why I didn't care? Because he was proud that he was with a little young thing. And he would tell me I had him coochie whipped. And that he loved me and all of the things, and was showing it unapologetic, just out in the open, ain't give a fuck, loving me out loud, which is what I wanted from who? My parents. I was getting that. So I didn't care what the fuck they had to say. I already told you I had a mouth on me already. He's talking about cussing somebody the fuck out. I was always ready. And he was going to back me up. 2 peas in a pod. I'm cussing, you cussing. I ain't give a shit. He ain't give a shit. Fuck it. We out here, bitch. Fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. And he like, yeah, fuck y'all. We like, yeah. Gang, gang. Of course I thought about the wife. I felt horrible. But not as, I didn't feel as bad in while I was going through it. No. My trauma trumped all of that. I didn't care as much. And she eventually had the baby. And he went to the hospital and everything and all of that. And still wasn't with her. So I was like, okay. I've been through this before. Somebody was pregnant. Somebody had a baby. You know, the nigga still came home with me. It's not the first time. The only difference is now this nigga's married. Or at that point, officially separated. They were officially separated at that point. You know, at first he was lying about it. But then they actually got officially separated when he got caught. And then he went through with the divorce. So that just fueled the fire. Because I kept thinking that he wasn't going to do it. And I'm like, okay, if this man don't end up getting a divorce, I'm going to look so fucking stupid. He's a great father. I told you, I don't date people who don't take care of their kids. Now, whatever you do with the parent, you know what I'm saying? Adults be doing adult shit. Adults will get into adult shit. But if you don't take care of them kids, listen, great, amazing father. Will never take that from him. Ever. So, yeah, it was what it was. That divorce was final. We moved into our first apartment together, which was officially my first apartment. It was in my name. Now, I was smart enough to know certain shit now, even at 21. Literally moved into my first apartment the day before my 22nd birthday. And we was together every day. Velcro. 24/7, 365. Every day, all day, for the next year and a half. And then he started cheating on me. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Such a shocker. So surprising. While still taking care of me. While still doing for me. While still treating me like the queen. I said, well, damn, what the fuck? What the fuck? And what was so funny is, a month before his divorce was final, we was on our way to a hotel to stay for the weekend. And he had got out to check into the hotel. And I'm sitting there, you know, reapplying my lip gloss in the little mirror. Because me and my man about to have us a nice little hotel weekend. And we about to, you know, have fun. You know, we had fun together, honey. Okay? Like, two peas in a pod. And as I'm looking in that mirror, I heard spirit so clear. So clear. Say, you're going to pay back. You're going to have to pay this back. Bitch, I thought somebody was in the car with me. I turned around and said, what the fuck? when I say chills, so clear. Now, if you have watched any of my stuff, you know that Spirit has always been talking to me since I was a kid. I've always heard voices. You know, after my grandfather passed, I would hear his voice, always. That shit shook me. You're going to have to pay this back. Simple like that. I said... Then what the fuck was that? Okay. And for a couple minutes, I was a little shook up until we checked into that hotel room and I saw that nice room that he didn't rent it out. I was like, oh, shit. Well, whatever I got paid back, bitch, it won't be today. Fuck it. Let's get this party started. I was 21. Stupid. I'm not going to say stupid. I'm going to say traumatized and uninformed, unaware, misguided. Baby, if spirit wasn't lying, and guess how I found out that he was cheating? Through his Apple Watch. Ooh! Talk about it coming the same way. The same way his wife found out that he was cheating on her with me, as I found out that he was cheating on me with another hoe. I said, another Apple Watch, Lord. I was distraught. I was just distraught. OMG. Why are you doing this to me? I thought we was in love. I thought you wanted me. Yeah. And I stayed a little while longer because that was my comfort zone. At that point, we had been together for almost 2 years, and that was my comfort zone. He was my best friend. He knew everything about me. I knew everything about him. He supported me the way I wanted people to support me, and they never did. He was there for me the way I wanted other people to be there for me, and they never was. He was everything that I wanted. Took care of me. You know, we went to sleep in each other's arms every night. It was like one of them. Like, and when he would leave for work, he would put a pillow behind my back so that I would still, you know, be secure. He was like that type. Like a real, like, lover type of nigga. So my heart was wide open. I couldn't just leave like I used to, because I've never been this exposed. I've never been this vulnerable. He knew all about my past. He knew all about my promiscuous, you know, ways that other men would try to throw in my face. He was understanding about it. I mean, like the whole nine. So I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? I brought it to his attention. He cried. I ain't never seen no man cry like that. I was like, oh, maybe he really loved me. Maybe he just fucked up. He just made a mistake. I really want to be with you. I just, you know, I don't know why I did that shit. Blah, 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 blah. I'll stay a little bit longer. Until he started to become narcissistic. Then he wanted to, you know, he would, because we had each other's social medias. We was that open with each other. And he would go through my likes on Instagram. You know, when people cheating, then they think you cheating. You know what I'm saying? Then they gonna put the shit on you. Whatever they doing, they gonna try to make it seem like you doing it too. So that they can maybe try to catch you on something, so that they can feel validated in doing whatever they fucking on. So he would go through my Instagram likes and then send me screenshots while I'm at work. Like, why you like this nigga picture? What, you want him? Like, what the fuck is you talking about? It's Instagram, babe. The only thing you can like on there is pictures. What the fuck? What, you want to be with that nigga? What, you think he better than me? I said, what the fuck is going on right now? What the hell what are we talking about? You got all of that from a like? What you think, he got more money than me? I don't know what he has. I just like the picture. It was a nice picture. I said, well, let me go through your likes. Bitches, booties, and all type of shit. I said, what you think, that they better than me? No, I know her. We went to school together. Always an excuse. What are you talking about? I grew up with them my whole life. You grew up with the model? Like, what the fuck is we talking? You did not grow up with the Instagram model, my nigga. What the fuck is you talking about? What the hell? Do I look like boo-boo? What, like, nigga, stop it. And that went on for a while. I was like, bro, this ain't it. Like, you not about to keep coming at me for shit that I'm not doing. So you know what I did? I went back to my old ways. Now I'm going to really cheat on your motherfucking ass. But I'm a woman, so you never going to know about it. But the satisfaction of me doing it and you not knowing about it is way better than you knowing about it. So I had a dude that I met when I was 18. And we always had a sexual relationship. It was never nothing serious. We was like just F buddies. Just was what it was. Right? And anytime I wasn't in a relationship or wasn't in nothing serious, we would do what we do. So I called Tyrone. His name was not Tyrone, but you know. I called Tyrone. And for some reason, we just gonna call him Tyrone. Tyrone just wanted to catch feelings now all of a sudden. Where it started off, you know, we gotta understand it. You know what I'm saying? You not with nobody, I'm not with nobody. We gonna get our stuff from each other. You know what I'm saying? And then we just gonna go home. Now that I'm with this nigga, now you telling me you love me and you wanna try to work something out with me. Now I'm confused. It's too much going on, Lord. You're just supposed to be giving me a little dang-a-lang, slang-a-lang, and now you're over here talking about you want to be together and you love me. What the fuck is happening right now? You're not doing your part. You're confusing me. Golly. I was like, okay, I can't do this no more. I was just over it all. So we ended up taking a vacation. We went to Mexico. Our first, out of the country vacation together. We ended up going to Mexico. And we had a really good time. But when we came back, it was still all of the same shit. And we got into this argument. And it was right before Christmas time. We went on vacation sometime in November. So when we came back and everything got to happening, right before Christmas, it broke me when he said, yeah, I was going to propose to you in Mexico. But, you know, since you out here being a hoe, blah, 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 blah. First of all, you dusty bitch. Okay? You gonna really try to gaslight me? With the invisible ring. Okay? What the fuck is the ring? I don't know. No ring inside. Tell me you're gonna propose to me. Stop playing with me. That was my last straw. Because I knew you was playing with me. I knew you was, you know what I'm saying? You trying to cut me deep. You know? You trying to cut me deep. And that's just not cool. So I told him, I was like, we need to just take a break. Let's just take a break. Mind you, we still living with each other. I'm like, we don't have to, I can't. So let's just take a break. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to leave. You can stay. We could stay in the same house. But I just think we just need some time to ourselves. However that works out. If you feel like you want to go sleep with somebody else, I don't give a damn. Whatever you, I don't care. I'm over this. I'm stressed the fuck out. This is too much for me. My anxiety is all over the place. I'm depressed. I started getting real skinny. I wasn't eating. I was smoking all day. That's really where my addiction to marijuana came in to play, because I was never a drinker. I don't like being altered in the same, I don't like my mind being altered. I'm a intellect, so I gotta be on my P's and Q's, and I ain't like all of that. But I will smoke you out of a house and a home. Understand me? Okay, I was getting fired from jobs because I didn't want to show up. I didn't want to wake up and go. It started to take a toll on me, and I didn't like that. So we wasn't together, but we was in the same fucking house, kind of like how he was with his wife. Shit's just repeating itself. So eventually he moved out. We officially broke up, and what caused us, well, to me, we was already broken up, but what caused us to officially go our separate ways and for him to move out of my house, because remember, I was smart enough to put the shit in my name. Okay, kudos to me for that. I started talking to a dude. We're gonna call him the Dominican. I've spoken the Dominican before. Okay. Good Lord. That's all we're gonna say about that. All right. And he came and picked me up. It was our first little, date or whatever. And he picked me up from the house. At that time, I called him my ex. He wasn't at the house at that time. And we went to a park and we was talking and smoking and vibing and all the things. And one thing led to another. And somehow I ended up on his face. Just, things just happen. Again, I'm 5 foot. So, things can happen in a car when you were little like me. And somehow I ended up on his face. And one thing led to another. Okay. And, it is what it is, okay? Look, it's my truth. I don't care. You can't make me feel no type of way about it. I lived it. Lived, laughed, loved it, okay? And we did what we did in the car. And it was raining, bitch. It was like a scene from fucking, I don't know. It was a scene from a movie, okay? The raindrops was hitting the car. And I just felt alive again. Said, woo, this is all right, okay? This is what I'm talking about. Freedom, okay? We did what we did. He dropped me back off. to the house. And, I gave him a nice little smoocheroochie. And I walked in, not knowing that my ex was sitting in the parking lot watching me. I can't catch a break. The man was sitting in the parking lot the whole time. So he seen him drop me off. He seen me lean over and kiss the man in the mouth. He didn't watch the other part. We was somewhere else with all that. But he seen him drop me off and I kissed him in the mouth. Oh, dear Lord. I get upstairs. I'm like, I'm going to take my little shower and lay down. I'm going to work tomorrow. I got the confidence to work tomorrow. I got a text. I saw his name. I'm like, ugh. What the fuck do he want? Because that same night, he wanted us to go out and talk about our relationship. I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk to you. I got a hot date with the Dominican. I want to talk to you. Okay? So I told him I was going out with a friend to clear my head. My head got cleared now. Okay? The bitch ain't had one negative thought when I made it back to the house. I'll tell you that. The head was clear. And the head cleared, if you know. Anywho, hello. And he sent me a text. It said notification. I'm thinking he sent me a voice memo. Because, we be sending voice memos. And again, he was like a lover type of nigga. So sometimes he'll record like videos and send them to me and shit. I'm like, oh, whatever. So I open it. It's a picture of the back of the Dominican's car. He's following him. The text read, I would be wrong if I this nigga tonight, wouldn't I? First of all, where did you get a pew pew from? Secondly, yes, you would be wrong. I love him now. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? I didn't mean to turn this into first 48. I was just trying to get 8. What the fuck is going on? Bitch, I was flabbergasted. I called that nigga so fast. I said, you don't need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Just come to the house. Let's just talk it out. Let's just, don't do this. So he's on whatever. So I called the Dominican. And y'all know Dominicans is a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? So I'm expecting for him to be like worried. I called the Dominican. I said, don't go home because I already told him what was happening with us. So it's not like he didn't know that my situation. He knew my situation. I was like, he's behind you. Just don't go to your house, right? He's like, oh, that nigga behind me? Oh, okay. I'm about to make my way back to your house now. I said, you about to come back to my... What the fuck is you coming back here for? I want to make sure you good. Nigga, I'm trying to make sure you good. What the fuck is going on? Okay? So my ex comes back to the house. I'm in the room. I guess he turned around because he really wasn't. I don't think he was really about that life for real. But anyway, it scared me enough to know. You don't know what niggas gonna do when they in their feelings. I said, oh, what the fuck is going on? So I'm in the room. I hear that door slam. I said, oh shit, he about to come fuck with me. He come in the room. Oh, you wanna play with me? Rah, 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 rah. Okay. I mean, he's going off of me. All this other shit. Now we arguing. We in a whole ass argument. The Dominican's calling my phone because he want to make sure I'm good. Because he seen the nigga pull back up to the house. He's sitting in the parking lot. Okay. He's like, I'm not leaving until you good. So this is like turning into Jerry Springer. Okay. And I'm in the house going back and forth with this motherfucker. Okay. Like, nigga, you cheated on me and blah, 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 blah. I told you. At least I had the decency to say, let's take a break before I went and did what I did. We wasn't on no type of break. We was full-fledged together and you was out here hoeing. Okay, like you got me fucked up. Yes, I went and got that dick. I sure did. And if you're going to be mad, you just got to be mad. I don't give a damn. Okay, that probably wasn't the best thing to say to him because then he picked up a folding chair, kind of like the one I'm sitting in, and was like he was going to hit me with it. I said, and the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and me like, bitch, do it. I fucking dare you, bitch. I fucking dare you. We just gonna be in this bitch fighting if you just try to. At that point, I was just ready. Because you done irritated my soul. We have reached our max. Bitch, it's a showdown. Okay, at this point, we just both gonna be on the news. So he snatched my phone. Because the nigga kept calling me. He wanted to make sure I was good. He snatched my phone. Took off. Went out the fucking door. It was locked. He couldn't get in it. Went out the door. And because I go out the door, he locks the door behind us. I don't have my key. So I'm in the hallway, no phone. It's like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm in the hallway with no motherfucking phone. He done went down the elevator. So we on like the 8th fucking floor. Now my stupid ass got to sit here and wait for the elevator because I'm not running down 8 flights of fucking stairs. I don't even care that much. I'm just trying to get somebody's phone so I can call the police. So he can get my shit back. Okay. I get downstairs. He's nowhere in fucking sight. Alright, I don't know what this nigga is. And he got my fucking phone. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't got no key. I can't get back in my house. I don't got no shoes on. I said, what the fuck is going on? This is wild. So thankfully this lady came in. And I was like, can I please use your phone to call the police? My boyfriend is acting crazy and he took my phone. And she was like, sure. And I'm going to wait right here with you to make sure you're good. I was like, thank you so much. So I called my phone. He answered. I said, I called the police and then I called my phone. So, the police show up because we didn't live far from the police precinct. They show up. He comes in and he comes in when he see the police. So I'm like, can you tell him to give me back my phone? And I need him to come unlock this door so I can get back into my house. And then also, can you tell him to get his shit up out of my shit? Because my name is on the lease and his is not. Again, the girl was at least smart enough to do that, okay? But they was like, you know, the 30-day rule. You got to at least give them in some type of... You basically got to serve the person with an eviction or let them know they got 30 days for them to vacate the house. And then the police can, you know, basically get them up out of there. So the police is like, basically, there's nothing that we can do as far as him staying there, but we'll just make sure that he don't stay there tonight. I'm like, fuck all of that. I don't want this nigga to come back. Because he just tried to hit me with a chair. And what if I'm asleep and he tried to choke me out or something? Like, what the fuck? So I get my phone back. He go upstairs and get some of his stuff. The police like, well, can you just stay down here until he goes upstairs and get his things, so that way y'all don't got to interact, and then, you know, when he leaves, we'll leave. I'm like, thank you so much. Okay, so he go up there and get his shit. He leaves the door unlocked so I can get back in, get his stuff, and he goes wherever he goes for the night. I don't know, and I don't fucking care. So I called the Dominican. I'm thinking that he home by now. I'm like, where you at? I'm still in the parking lot. I saw the police in there. You good? I've been calling your phone. I said, you still here? I thought you would have went home. No, I told you I'm not leaving unless I know that you're good. That man stayed outside of my house until the sun came up to make sure that I was good, which I was grateful for. I said, not only did you devour me, but you also is a protector. Okay. The toxic train in my head was like, choo-choo. Okay, took me to work, everything, made sure I was straight, all that. Bought me a little Starbucks, you know what I'm saying? Because I was an elementary school teacher at the time, so I had to be to work real early. Bought the girl a little Starbucks, okay? Slept outside of my job because he wanted to make sure, because me and my ex both worked in the school district, okay? So he slept outside of my job to make sure that my ex didn't try to pull up on me or nothing crazy while I was at work. Took me to get lunch, the whole nine. Oh my God, I think I'm in love, bitch. This is a hood story, and I'm gonna have to tell our kids how we met. Because I just knew we was gonna be together. And I ended up talking to him right after the relationship. He started, you know, eventually when my ex moved all his shit out, he started coming over, spending the night, and you know, I don't know if y'all ever been with a Dominican, but what Michael Jackson said, you rock my world, you know you did, and everything I wanna give, and everything. So I was hooked, okay? I had a good old distraction. I wasn't thinking about the nigga. I wasn't mourning, grieving, nothing. I was moaning, you understand? I wasn't mourning, I was moaning, okay? I'm talking about... You talking about through the night, bitch. I had to call out of work a couple times. Said, I'm not going to make it in. My legs don't work, honey. Okay? I am sick. I'm sick. And that nigga started pulling up and sitting outside and texting me. Oh, you letting that nigga come in your house? I said, oh, now you're crazy? How dare you let that man come in the house? We used to sleep in that bed together, and we lived in that apartment together all this time. I said that was then, and this is now. Stay your crazy ass from around my house. What the fuck is wrong with you? He would pull up to my job. I'm outside. I said, okay. I thought you wanted the other hoes. You was cheating on me. I thought you wanted to be with them. What the fuck is going on? I'm confusion. Now you want to act like you want me. What the is going on? So, child, my birthday came. I was about to turn 24, I think. I was turning 24. Yeah. So, the Dominican cut hair. He was a barber. So, he would be in the barbershop all day long. And we was, again, all the niggas I was serious with, we was Velcro. So he would be on FaceTime with me. He would sit his phone up and literally be cutting hair and doing the whole nine and everything. Once he got off, he'd be at my house. We'd get us something to eat, do what we do, go to bed, wake up, repeat. Okay, we done got into a little routine. Baby, my birthday came up, and I'm like, all right, now I need you to leave this barbershop by a certain time so we can go out and, celebrate. Now, I take my birthday seriously. If you don't show up for me on my birthdays, you know what I'm saying? And he worked that whole night, and we missed our reservations and everything. So I was pissed. I said, nigga, fuck you. I don't need one. I'm over it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. Because if you can't take certain things seriously, then what the fuck? It's one day. You know what I'm saying? You making all this money anyway. What the fuck? So that pissed me off. So again, I know how to detach. So I was like, fuck it. I'm over it. I'm just gonna be by myself. And that's what I did. And that went on for a while. I was like, I'm just gonna be by myself. Fuck it all. And then I started watching horoscope readings. I don't know how the fuck it came across my Facebook feed one day. It was this lady. I don't even know her name. But so much love and light to her, wherever she is in her life. Okay? Because, baby, she started doing these readings. And I was watching some of them a little bit when I was still with my ex. But I wasn't really into it. I would watch it, but, And I watched one, like Facebook Live saves the video, and then you can go back on that person's page and you can watch it. So I'm watching it. She got the Gemini, and baby, when I say she read me for filth, I felt like we was having a one-on-one. I said, bitch, do you know me? Are there cameras in my home? Are you watching me? How the fuck you know all this? Right? And I mean down to the zodiac signs. Like, just red. And that's what prompted my spiritual journey. Or for me to really get deeper into it. And I said, I'm going to say my healing journey. Because I was already kind of on my spiritual journey. But I wasn't really healing. And she said, you need to spend some time by yourself. Because you are toxic. And you may not realize it because you're used to blaming other people. Hang up on you, not in the mood. Because you don't know my life, ho. And she was right. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to focus on me. So I started spending time with myself. And it was hard. It was hard. Because I wanted that Dominican ping ping. I don't want to be by myself. I wanted to be cuddled. I wanted to get devoured and ate off the bone. I wanted to have my distractions that I was used to. I wanted to do my thing. But I was like, I'm going to make this sacrifice. And I'm just going, I'm just going to spend some time by myself. Fuck it. I ended up moving to another apartment. And I was like, this is just going to be my fresh start. Don't nobody know where I live at. Other than my mama and, my siblings and shit. And I'm just going to start over. Move to a different city. And I'm just going to start the fuck up. I'm just going to spend time by myself. And I started loving it. I started PocaSPEAKS that October. All this happened all of that took place from I want to say February, March-ish to about June, July. So between July and October, November-ish, I had started just being to myself, and then I moved. And I started PocaSPEAKS October of that year. And Spirit just told me to start uploading videos talking about what I was going through, talking about my healing journey, talking about leaving the church, because eventually I left the church. You know, the more you start to get the healing, you start to realize religion is a little funky, you know. And I already told that story about how I, left religion, so you can go on my YouTube and watch that. But, that's kind of intertwined and all of that. I left a whole lot of stuff out. I'm keeping it to, like, the main parts. Started PocaSPEAKS, and Spirit was just like, just post videos. So I just started posting videos. And I think maybe a couple months or a year after that, we went into lockdown for COVID. So I ended up quitting my job. Literally right before COVID, I quit my job because my intuition told me to. It's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna quit my motherfucking job. Being a teacher is a difficult thing, number one, and you don't get paid a lot for it, number two. And then I had to commute so far out because the city that I was working in paid the best, even though they weren't really paying shit. And I was like, fuck that shit, I'm just gonna quit. Not knowing that we was about to go into lockdown. We went into lockdown, and then I got my unemployment plus that extra $600 they was giving us, plus food stamps. I was living high on the hog, okay? And I started getting deeper into my tarot my tarot readings throughout all of that time. So by the time we went into lockdown, people was asking me for readings because I would do horoscopes, daily horoscopes. That's where a lot of y'all, the people who've been watching me since then, that's where a lot of y'all met me from, doing daily horoscopes. So I started doing that. Then I started doing lives. And then I made my Facebook group, and Melanated and Spiritual. And that shit just started taking off. It was a whole nother world of things that I didn't even know about. And during all this time, people were still talking shit about me, because of my ex and how he was married and how we was together and all of that stuff. And he was going around telling people that I was a hoe and I cheated on him with, whoever and all this other stuff. And I was healing, baby. I didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. I didn't care. I said, fuck all of that. I don't care. I'm on a different journey now. And you really don't want me to tell you your tea. You really don't want me to come out here and tell your tea. Because one thing about me, like I said, I was always super close to the people that I was with. So I knew all their business. But I've never been the type of person that just because we beefing or we at odds, I'm not going to go around and start telling everything that you told me. Like, I've never been that type of person. Like, I just, my integrity just won't let me do that. Even if you telling all my shit, I'm still not going to do that. Because I learned the fact that I'm holding on to your shit is a threat enough. All I got to do is remind you, hey, boo, I know you right. And I ain't said nothing. So you can paint me out to be this villain. But if I start yapping my lips, what are they going to think about you? Okay? That's scary enough. When people know your shit and ain't saying nothing. So I didn't never have to do that. I just let him live. You want me to be the hoe? I'll be the hoe. You want me to be the thought? I'll be the thought. You want me to be the cheater? I'll be the cheater. At one point, he was telling people that it was his apartment. I said, oh, wow. How did we get there? Because I could have sworn my name was on everything. Every bill, every statement, everything, every money order. I'm confused. But, hey, however you want to tell your story, you can tell your story. It is what it is. And it went on from there. And every day since then has been a day where I've had to learn myself. It's been a day when, I think that I've healed certain things and I'm done with certain things, and then I'm triggered and I get a random memory of my childhood. I've had situationships in between then where I still had to learn certain things. And this is why I say it's a process. It don't matter how deep you get on your journey. And I teach healing and I teach shadow work and I teach, I do readings and all of these things. But I'm still a process. There are still certain things that Poca does that I know I'm not supposed to do. There's still certain situations that I get myself in. Now, I don't fuck with nobody that's in a relationship or that's married no more. Now, I don't do none of that type of stuff no more. But there's still certain things that I still do, or still certain things that I may crave or that I may think about or you get triggered and I want to go back to some of my old ways. And this is why I started this video by telling you it's a process. Every day is not going to be a good day. For those who know, I suffered a panic attack, a horrible anxiety attack, and was in the hospital for 2 days a month ago. Yesterday made a month. Because I was still putting so much pressure on myself and still trying to be hyper independent. Because when you are abandoned, when you don't have people to lean on or call, you become hyper independent. You want to do everything on your own. You want to always be moving, always be doing something, always be trying to go places. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay busy or overworking, or I give a lot of energy in what I do. And I take a lot of energy on because, a lot of people come to me with their traumas and their pain and their triggers and all of their stuff. And I've been taking that and taking it and taking it and taking it and giving you good things in return, right? Being the alchemist, taking your negative and giving you positive and forgetting about me. And even to this day, I have to learn to remember myself. I can't put everybody before myself. I didn't raise somebody else's child. I didn't, took care and played stepmommy. I done been a mommy to some of these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I done took the brunt force or, being talked about and scrutinized and all of this stuff for the things that a man did. I've been responsible for everybody. I've been, the go-to person. I got 3 younger brothers, so I had to be second mommy to my brothers and cook for them and clean and help out and do this and do that. And forgot to take care of me. Right? So it is a process. All of that to say, number one, you are not alone. I saw a lot of y'all in the comments saying, me too. That happened to me too. I did that too. Damn, this is like my story. Blah, 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 blah. Because none of us have an original story. That's the beauty of this thing. You learn that nothing is original. The same traumas you went through, I went through. Some of the stuff that you dealt with, I dealt with. The ways that you hated on yourself, I hated on myself. The negative thoughts that you had, I had. And sometimes still have. Right? We are so much more similar than we are made to think. And nobody has the perfect story. We all have traumas. We all have triggers. We all have negative things that we think about. We all beat ourselves up sometimes. We all can be hard on ourselves sometimes. We all can strive for perfection sometimes. Right? And it's not about falling into it. It's about getting out of it. Because you're going to fall sometimes. But can you get up? You know what I'm saying? You're going to make a step. You're going to take some steps back. But do you readjust yourself and get right? That's all that matters. As long as you can readjust and get right, baby, that's half the battle. As long as you can wake up tomorrow and look yourself in the face and be like, you know what, I fucked up. But I'm going to be better today. Even if I change one thing. Even if I change 2 things. Even if I change 3 things. I'm going to be better today than I was yesterday. And then when you look at it, you realize you was better than you was 6 weeks ago. And 3 months ago. And a year ago. And then you look up and you done made all of these damn changes. But even with all of the changes we make, because we're so used to beating ourselves up or being scrutinized or being talked about, we get so focused on the negative. We get so focused on the things that we're still doing wrong. Baby, it's a process. You're going to fuck up. Challenges come with the journey. Pressure makes diamonds. Without the pressure, we wouldn't have a jewel. So you got to expect the pressure. You got to expect that sometimes there's going to be some cracks in the surface. It's okay. It's all right. Just get your repair kit out. Get your tools, your exercises, the things that you have been using to get yourself on track. You got to remember it. You have a tool belt. Everything you learn, you put it in your tool belt. And when that problem arises again, you pull that tool out. Don't nobody buy a hammer and use it once. We don't buy a screwdriver for one screw. We buy it with the understanding that we're going to need to use this thing more than one time. So on your journey, there's going to be certain things that you have to address more than one time. There's going to be certain traumas that you have to heal over and over and over until you get it all the way right. Sometimes infections come back. And you got to put more medicine on it, and more medicine on it, and more medicine on it. Maybe you got to change your diet. Maybe you got to stop wearing the certain clothes. Maybe you got to make sure you bandage it up right this time. You learn every time you get challenged. You learn something. And all of the traumas, all of the pain, all of the things we experience, we're all setting us up to have the tools that we need to continue on in this thing called life. Because it's not going to be over no time soon. I know you're depressed. I know sometimes you want to give up. I know sometimes you want to throw in the towel. I know sometimes you want to walk away. But imagine if I would have walked away. Because I was very depressed. I wanted to take myself out a couple times. But could I be here in this moment to help you? Absolutely not. So as long as you can hold on and make it to the next day, baby, reward yourself. Congratulate yourself. Go get yourself something nice. Go ahead and buy that cookie that you know you're not supposed to have because you on a diet. Go ahead and spend that extra little money on that burger even though you said that you wasn't going to eat meat no more. Go ahead and take yourself to the movie theaters and go get that thing that's in your shopping cart that's been sitting there for a long time that you always wanted to buy but you worried about your bills. Just go ahead and do it. Just do it. You gotta live in the moment. You have to. That is one of the most important keys of this journey, is being present in the moment. And the more you can congratulate yourself and reward yourself for the things that, it's not small. Any change you make, it ain't fucking small. I don't like when people say, oh, it's not that big. I just did this. It's not small if you didn't do it before. And now you are. It ain't small. Something changed. Something within you changed. You woke up some type of way. You deserve it. You deserve to spend your last on that meal. You deserve to spend your last on that trip. I've been broke on many vacations. Hello? All inclusive. I'll eat whatever is here. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to drink for free. I'm going to eat this food. I'm going to dance to this music. I'm going to twerk this ass. I don't like when people try to make spirituality fit in a box. It does not fit in a box. You twerking that ass on vacation don't make you any less spiritual. You having a good time don't make you any less spiritual. You sometimes going back to what you know is not for you don't make you any less spiritual. It makes you human. It makes you real. As long as the next day you notice what you did wrong and you do your best to adjust it, that's all that fucking matters. I can't beat myself up about something that didn't already happen. It already happened. I can't go back in time. One thing we can't do is time travel. So why the fuck am I sitting here trying to beat myself up with something I can't do? It happened. That was then. This is now. It is what it is. It is what it is. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy this life. We only remember one lifetime at a time. And the goal is to learn ourselves, understand who we are, understand our life purpose so we can get the fuck from this hellhole. But while you're here, you better enjoy it. It's already hell, so you might as well have a little fun on the trip. And affect some people and change some lives while you're changing yours. Because you never know where you're going to end up. You couldn't have convinced me when I was in that damn, in the trenches, living with that man and taking care of that man's baby. You never would have convinced me that today I would be here. I would have told you that you was a fucking lie. You couldn't have convinced me when I was sleeping with that married man and hopping from hotel to hotel that I would be in this position. I wouldn't have believed you. So you never know where you're going to end up. And that's a part of the beauty of this motherfucking life. Is that we are here to experience, not to control. And once you relinquish control and you just go with the flow, it'll be so much better. All right? So anybody who is interested in any services, I do offer shadow work assistance. I offer consultations. I offer mentorships for beginners and for those who want to learn other topics. I offer readings and everything else. I have written shadow work guides. chakra healing, chakra alignment journals, all types of things you can find. I've written a whole bunch of books to help out. All of it is found on my website. You can book everything through my website, which is linked in my bio. Also, make sure that you subscribe to YouTube. I will be posting this video to YouTube so that you all are able to watch it. I usually let my stuff go live, but it's not gonna let me let this go live, so I'll just post the video for those who want to watch it from the beginning, and it'll be up on YouTube at some point within like the next couple hours. Okay. I will be doing a reading tomorrow for those who like to stick around for the collectives. I do collective readings throughout the week on here and on YouTube. Whatever I do is always going to be on YouTube, so definitely subscribe there, turn your notifications on for that. Sometimes I go live here, sometimes I go live on YouTube and Facebook, but either way, everything will always be posted to YouTube when I'm done, so that whoever wants to watch it back can watch it back. But remember, you're not by yourself. Okay, I always tell y'all, even if you don't want to book with me, even if you're not led or called to do that, I just want you to get the assistance that you need. That's all I care about. And if you want to help yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that you are allowing your intuition to lead you. Make sure that you are not doing anything for anybody, but you're doing it for yourself. Okay? And you're living for yourself. Mistakes come with this journey. And just because you are able to live your mistakes out loud, don't mean that somebody else is not going through it just because they in the dark with their shit. I had to learn that. I've always been unapologetic with the shit that I've done. But a lot of people try to make me feel bad just because they live, in the shadows with their shit. All right? So everybody is going through something, and everybody needs help, and everybody is on a journey, right? Just make sure